delighted to introduce you to Patrick Calvillo. He is from the Rafa Clinic, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the Rafa Clinic, what they're doing, what is the process on how patients can get to be seen over at the clinic, and different things that they have planned. So, Patrick?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a crazy world since COVID, so I'm just going to kind of talk a little bit about myself first and kind of tell you what my background is. So I just moved from Kansas in October. In October of last year, I moved here to Carrollton, and I was living in Kansas for the past 3 years. And I was an executive director for a art museum / art center for the past 3.5 years. And I learned the nonprofit field, learned how to write grants, learned how to, fundraise and do things like that. So coming from the art world into the medical world is a huge shift, especially when coming to grants and kind of finding stuff for projects and things like that. So, but right now I am the director of development for the Rafa Clinic. And that means just, fundraising and writing grants and putting together different events and things. And so I'm just going to tap in on some things that we've started doing since I've been there. So we started this, it's a online conversation. One of the ideas that I had was a lot of people, get on Google and they ask Google, medical questions. And, a lot of the times, some of those answers don't really get solved, or they're not really the best medical advice that you can get from, an online search engine. So we started doing this thing called Talk with a Doc, which every month we highlight a different doctor, a different field, and it's about an hour long. And you can submit questions to the doctor, and to me, and then I'll put them together in the format and then send it to the doctor, and he'll tap on any questions.
Good morning. Have a good one.
Good morning. So we started doing Talk with the Doc, which is great, which is it's opening up the clinic to the community, which is, another way to do it during COVID, which, everything shut down. It was really hard people felt, that they were in a place that going to a Medicare facility, am I going to get sick? If I go to the hospital, is it, my chance is going to get sick? Because, sick people go to the hospital. So this was an opportunity for us to reach out to the community and have some source of professionalism, especially when it comes to, different issues and topics that are coming around, especially, now with the Delta variant. So we started doing that. And once we get over this hump and we can actually start, get a better sense of gatherings and things like that, we really want to do Walk with the Doc, which is, we want to do that once a month. And this, hopefully by 2022, we'll be able to do something like this, but it would be an event where we would be at a local park, maybe the Greenbelt in Carrollton, and we would just do a walk and invite people to come. And that's, one-on-one conversation, invite 2 or 3 doctors, and they can just ask, answer questions as they're exercising as well. Another thing that I started doing was yoga for the clinic. So I'm trying to get out there again in the community. Now with COVID again, it's kind of just messing everything up. But I wanted to, we did this in Kansas at the art center that I was working at. But getting people involved, getting people to start exercising, getting people to, start the conversation about, what the Rafa Clinic does, introduce ourselves to the community in a different way. And so we started doing that. We started doing different local fundraisers. We did a golf tournament last month at Sunset Hills, and it was a really good turnout. But that was, another thing that we're just trying to start. I'm trying to start building these events for the community and showcasing what the Rafa Clinic has and what we offer. The next big event is the Sound of Medicine, which is happening September 16th. And I think Ms. Gonzalez, did you email everybody the information?
Right now, I'm just putting it on the chat, and it's a bunch of events, so it's there.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So if you're interested, I'll just give you a brief overview of what the Sound of Medicine is. Sound of Medicine it's our 7th annual. So a lot of doctors in the area play music, and so we wanted to showcase them with their musical talents and tie it in with the clinic. And so we're having, it's kind of just like a music event. It's on September 16th, Thursday, September 16th. And I haven't ever attended because I haven't been there, but I've heard it's a great event. The main idea for the whole thing was, we try to do it in person. But as of right now, we're doing a hybrid event like we did last year, which is half virtual, half in person. So, and I don't really know what the idea is coming up. We do have a couple doctors on our board of directors that are leaning towards more virtual event, which, is kind of a bummer because live music is something that I think everybody has missed during this whole pandemic. So hopefully once we get word on that, we can move forward and start doing more promotion for it. So yeah, so all the information for Center Medicine, I can send it to you. We have different sponsorships. If you want your nonprofit highlighted, whatever, we just want to bring the community together. And we've done really well so far, just, contacting local businesses and getting people involved that way. Right now, a little bit about the clinic. We've been doing appointment only for the clinic. And so we serve uninsured people 18 and above. We don't serve anybody that's under 18. And we also do dental. We also do dental care and healthcare. So a lot of our patients that we've seen is hypertension. People have hypertension, diabetes. They need insulin. We do have a Medicare program that we could provide certain medications out. And then also on the dental side, a lot of people that haven't seen the dentist, they need cleanings, they need teeth pulling, they need some sort of, standardized dental care. That's what we do at the clinic. And right now I'm working on a couple grants to try to get a part-time dental hygienist in. And if you guys know anybody who is, retired dental hygienist that wants to volunteer, please let me know, because that's something that we're really suffering at right now. Just trying to get dental patients in an appropriate time. So yeah, if that's something that, comes across your mind, like, so-and-so that was a dental hygienist or somebody that might want to volunteer further off clinic, I'll put my contact info in the chat and you can reach out to me. But yeah, so that's what we do. It's the uninsured community that we really are tapping into. We're out in Temple. They renovated the facility into, I want to say 2016, 2017. And so we have a little bit more of space, especially for the dental, that was, for the dental community. And one thing that I will say, coming together with all of you guys is, if there's anything that you think of that we could probably help, please reach out to me. I've been trying to work with different nonprofits and trying to get myself more involved. It's just been a crazy year, especially with COVID, and it kind of, I don't know what we're able to do. So I always have to talk to the board of directors and see what line we have to walk, because it changes. Everybody knows it changes every week. So, sometimes we might be in the clear and we might be able to do, outdoor event. And then sometimes, the next day it changes. So I don't know if anybody has any questions for me. Again, I asked my clinic director to come and talk with me today, but she was busy. So I'm just, the fundraising, grants, I do all of the different events and things. But if anybody has any ideas that you think that might help the clinic, if there's like a fundraising idea that you think that might be something that we could benefit from, please reach out to me. And again, if you have something on your end that you need help with, I'm available. Depending on what COVID has in store for us every other day. So, and thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, thank you, Patrick. I wanted to ask you something. There is a one day at the clinic that you can apply for to be able to be seen at the clinic, correct?
Yeah. You would call. I would call the clinic number and set up an appointment. Right now, our lobby is closed because of COVID, and so you'd have to wait in the car or wait outside until you could be able to be seen. But yeah, as of right now, it's by appointment only, just because of how everything's going.
And the documents that you need to provide to be able to be seen, what are those?
I think it's just proof of, I mean, identification. I think there's a couple forms that you'd have to fill out. And I think there's a question that was asked. Also, yeah, they have a couple different forms that you need to fill out, but your ID and whatever, because we sure you don't need insurance cards or anything like that, because if people don't have insurance, and so that's what we're tapping into. So everything will be there. I think it's just a couple of forms and maybe your past medical history.
Okay. Is there a way that you can provide us with a flyer with all that information, and that way we can have it ready, available for clients who need it?
Yeah, I'll email it to you later on today.
Okay. And Becky asked, did you give an ages on who you serve?
Yeah, so we serve anybody above 18. Unfortunately, we don't serve any young adults or kids. So that's why our main focus is people that are uninsured, that are over 18, that don't need legal or parent consent.
Okay. Are you writing any grants to be able to to serve people with mental health related issues?
As of right now, we haven't done anything mental health wise. We don't have any full-time employees. Everybody's part-time and or volunteer. So the staff, especially with COVID, the focus has been diabetes, hypertension, trying to get more insulin and different. I guess there's just been a lot of conversations of how we can expand this, but we haven't tapped in on mental health too much. Okay. Which is another thing that we need to do. One of my main focuses again is dental. It's the saddest thing, when we have a long line of people, and I think everybody can attest to this. When you have toothache, or you broke a tooth, or it's hard. I mean, your whole life is just you're in pain. So I'm really trying to focus. So right now I'm writing grants specifically for a dental hygienist, just to get and I tell people all we need is a part-time dental hygienist, so I'm writing grants to secure that salary, or that, just the payment for them for a year. And so I'm working with a couple organizations throughout Atlanta and different bigger corporations like dental corporations to see what they have to offer. But it's the hardest. It's really hard to come by. So we just really need dental workers.
Have you thought about tapping into West Georgia Tech?
I have. I reached out to them. I can't remember her name. I just emailed her a couple months ago, but I talked to them about having some dental students come and help. And then for some reason, I think they lost their executive director. And so they were looking to replace that position. And the lady that took in charge wasn't able to make any decisions. And then by the time I got back to them, they've already scheduled the fall. So I've emailed her. I think her name is, I want to say Alice Cobb. Does that ring a bell? I don't know. But I reached out to them, and I'm trying to get those students to the clinic. And I recommended having a day at the clinic to bring the students in, or I can go to the school and we could talk about what we do there and the services. But yeah, I've reached out. I'm trying my best to work with the schools and see what I could do next. I just have to wait for them. They've already scheduled everything for the fall, which is a bummer. But I got to keep emailing and bugging them.
See, sometimes when we see clients and they need labs, do you do labs at your clinic?
Yes, we do. We do labs. And I think right now they've worked it out with Tanner where if you go get the labs done, we pay for them. And then you pay us, can't remember, but I don't think it's more than $20 for a lab, because labs can get expensive. So we do labs, and we have worked. I wrote a grant for Power of the Purse. And we got some GYN, OBGYN, medical supplies. And we wrote another grant for, I can't remember exactly what they bought with it, but I know it was through the Power of the Purse. So, you know, a lot of the focus was for female health. So we did a lot of that.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
Thank you so
That
much.
was a lot of info and a lot of needed info. I know that the schools on here could use it because we have parents that don't have insurance. So
Well,
you
we're
know,
here.
it's hard, you know, and even my department, a lot of our parents have insurance. You know, the kids have Medicaid or Medicaid, but the parents, a lot of parents don't. And it's hard because they're sick, and the kids get sick, then they just pass it back and forth the whole time. So if that, nobody has anything else. Our next meeting, I believe, will be on September the 21st. Is that correct, Ms. Gila?
Yes.
All right. Y'all have a
do-
good month. We'll see y'all then. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Bye, you guys.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.